Yeah, I stand upon the past, in the present, the future. I can't see the past, I can't edit. Something tells me I've been where I'm headed. Is this deja vu? Is the promised land predestined? I don't know, but I know I need directions. I'm beyond
Grace
the
and
point
peace,
of
my brothers. Brother Rod here, International Christian Brotherhood, and you know who I'm hanging out with. You see this brother right here. You know he's Fox Sports commentator, Odd Couple commentator. You know he is an incredible man of God. My man Chris Broussard. What up, Chris?
What's up, man? How are you?
I am blessed and highly favored. You know we're here. We're excited about our alliance. You know with King, which stands for, which I've been rehearsing, knowledge, inspiration, and nurture through God. And that is phenomenal. And my family, these brothers are not only great men of God, but they are strong in the Lord. You know, and so our partnership, a couple of years back, we did a virtual conference, King Summit.
Yep. It was what, I believe 2 years ago, roughly.
Yes.
During the COVID, so it was virtual, as you said, but man, it was phenomenal. Even virtually, it was great. And I have brothers from all over the country hitting me like, man, that was a tremendous conference. Because as you know, we had some awesome speakers, starting with your pastor, Dr. A.R. Bernard, but Dr. Vince Bantu talked about early African Christianity. And we had Dr. Michael Brown, you know, and we had some phenomenal speakers and teachers, and it was great. And this was going to be even greater, Rod, because this one will be in person.
That's what's up.
Get to see brothers, get to be with brothers, get to hug brothers, get to dap brothers up, encourage brothers in person. And we're going to have fun. We're going to hoop. We're going to have some hip hop.
Well, hold on.
I won't get ahead of myself.
Listen,
I won't get ahead of myself.
You did that the last conference too. You were about to drop 16 bars, you know, right on me, you know, but, you know, the last conference was phenomenal, you know, and we had all that, you know, but this upcoming conference, you know, it is Let Us Make Man, you know, tell me about that. What's that about?
Well, look, it is no secret that in the Black community and even in the wider American male community that we need strong men. We need stronger men. We can do all the things politically. We can do all the things in other ways to try to better things for our people. But if we don't have strong men,
come on,
we're fooling ourselves. And that's just biology. You need strong men to make children and raise those children. And obviously it just is natural that if the man and the woman make the child, then that man and that woman should raise the child. And so we are all about building strong men because, number one, that glorifies the Lord as we all walk in the image of God and we walk and live as he created us to do. But also we would create stronger families, stronger children, a stronger community, and obviously a stronger country. So look, and you know this, right? We're roughly the same age. Growing up and going from boyhood to manhood, it can be confusing in the most pristine environments.
That's right.
It's going through puberty and all that, like it can be confusing. But can you imagine nowadays when you are getting so many messages about what a man is? And I mean, it's just
it's all over the place.
Yes, it's out there. And so our belief with King is that God created us to walk in biblical manhood. And that's what we promote. And so we're trying to build young boys up so that they can grow into being men of God that love their wives, that are faithful to their wives and their family, that are productive citizens and members of society, and that are lights in the world. And obviously the brothers who are already men, we try to do the same with them.
And that is where the synergy is, you know, because in ICB, we train men in Christ likeness as the standard for manhood. Right. And that's what we do. And there is so much synergy here. So we know the King Summit, you do it every year. This is your 8th annual one. What date is it? What church is it going to be at? I know it's going to be in the city that's going to apparently lose this weekend. Philadelphia Eagles. Because my New York Giants are coming.
With that. Good luck with that, Giants fan.
My Giants are coming through. We're coming through.
Right.
Hold on. Let me make sure I'm ready.
You need to be satisfied. Look, y'all had a great season. Daniel Jones showed you a little something. You got a great coach. Be happy.
Oh my goodness!
But
we were favored by God this year for sure. Man. we weren't expected to do anything this year.
It was a great year for the Giants. Dayball's great. Dayball is great. They finally got the right coach. And just quickly, because I know we want to get
back. Tell me, go ahead.
Daniel Jones, he's had 3 head coaches and 4 offensive coordinators in his 4 seasons. And his rookie year, he was very good for a rookie, 24 touchdowns, 12 picks, 230 yards a game, something like that. And next 2 years struggled badly, but this year with stable coaching, he's done well again. So I'm not saying,
but you got to throw in my man Saquon Barkley though.
Oh, Saquon's great. Yeah. Saquon's only problem is he got to stay healthy, and this he did for the most part. So we know that, but they have the makings of something good. So, but I do think Philly's gonna get them, but we'll see. That's why you play.
We'll see. But what's the missing element? If we can get the secret sauce for the Giants, what's the missing element that they need to get them over that hump?
Well, one, they need some receivers that are better. I mean, they need better receivers. And I'm Daniel Jones, to me, and I think to most sober-minded people, has not yet proven he's your guy. Like, we no longer have any quarterback issue. He's our guy. He threw 15 touchdowns. He threw 15 touchdowns this year. Let's relax. Yeah. He was great against Minnesota. We'll see what he does against Philly. But what he's doing is he's showing you he might be that guy. Right. That he's a good quarterback, and he might be a guy you can count on going forward. They have to do something with him contractually. I would want to give him maybe 2 years at pretty good money. I don't know if he'll settle for that. We'll see what other offers he gets.
Well, listen, I just made a call.
You need better receivers. The defense can get better and needs to get somewhat better, but I think it will. And then you got to figure out, is it Daniel Jones? Or is it, do we have to keep looking for another quarterback?
Well, I've already made a couple of calls to Brady. I'm waiting for him to call me back.
You want Brady? Brady?
Look,
Brady's not the one for y'all, because y'all don't have the receivers. Brady needs, at this stage, at 45, he'll be 46 next season. He needs everything perfect.
That's right.
He needs the great receivers, the great running game, the great.
He needs a great O-line.
Great defense. Like, he needs it all. And then, but his intelligence, quick release, smarts, and all that, then he can, get that team maybe to a Super Bowl. But he's not the force multiplier he used to be. He can't just go. That's why one reason he's the GOAT, because he won a lot of those early Super Bowls with not great receivers. And, he can't do that anymore, though. He needs the great guys around him.
Listen, he only got like maybe 1 year left. I give him 1 more year if he wants to do it, because they're getting to him.
Retire or 1 more year. That's what
they're getting to him. Tell Rob he's not retiring. Tell Rob he's not retiring. Rob Parker, he's not retiring.
Rob is hoping and dreaming he retires.
I know. but anyway, let's get back to this. So Let Us Make Man is happening when? Is going down where? ICB is going to be there. We're going to bring our men and see how many guys we can gather together and take that road trip out to Philly.
Well, it's March 9th through the 12th. So the 9th is a Thursday night, and it starts Thursday night, and I'll get back to this, but it starts Thursday night with a citywide 3-on-3 basketball tournament. Okay, and former Philadelphia Eagles receiver Jason Avant is going to speak there, share his testimony. And we're looking for as many as 32 teams to compete in this citywide basketball tournament. The grand prize is $500 for the winning team. So it starts Thursday night. And then Friday, March 10th and 11th is when we'll have the meat of the conference, the workshops, the speakers, things like that. And then on the 12th, those who remain, because it'll end Saturday the 11th, that evening will be the championship rounds of the basketball tournament. So Thursday are the preliminary rounds, Saturday are the championship rounds, and then essentially the conference ends on Saturday. But those of us who remain in Philly, we want to go to the church where it's at, the host church, and
Sure.
fellowship with them. So that church is K.I.N.G Tabernacle Baptist Church, which is the largest Black Baptist church in Philadelphia. Great pastor,
Awesome.
Dr. Alan Waller. They have a wonderful men's ministry, great facility. And so we are excited to have our summit at K.I.N.G Tabernacle. And it's going to be phenomenal.
That is a great. Now, I know you got some dope speakers. You got some dope artists. You got my man, Donald Cogdell, dropping 16 bars, man. His album, New History, is phenomenal, man.
Yo, it is. And so where Donald comes in, Donald is the National Director of Development for the K.I.N.G movement, but he's also an MC, and he goes by the name of Reflect. And we're going to have a hip hop cipher, all right, where Reflect will rhyme. Jafia Life, who's a great underground artist in Philadelphia,
awesome.
He will be in the cipher, I believe. The Ambassador from the legendary Cross movement. Now, first of all, those who are really familiar with the Cross movement, and as you know, Rod, you put their rhyme skills up against any rappers, secular,
yes,
Christian, whatever. Like, you might not be all into Christian hip hop because you don't like the content, but lyric, like skills, flows, those brothers can compete with anybody and the beats too. And so, but now, from their albums, you would hear little clips of him sharing the gospel or you contending for the faith out in the streets. And so he is a professor now, educated brother, and he is going to teach a workshop on how to share the gospel.
That's
because
amazing,
a lot of
man.
us don't know how to share the gospel, in a one-on-one way or something like that. And so he's going to do a workshop on that, which will be phenomenal. But he also, I believe, is going to join the cipher. And then there'll be plenty of other rappers. But yeah, quickly, as you said, Donald's Reflect's new album, A New History, go get it. And what I love about it, Rod, is that when we talk about in K.I.N.G, is we talk about the full gospel. And I know generally we think of the full gospel as, you embrace the gifts of the Spirit, which we do. But for us, when we say full gospel, we're talking about personal salvation.
That's
and everything that comes with that, the gifts of the Spirit, all that. But also biblical social justice.
Yes, sir.
In America, they like to separate, like even in the church, you've got churches that promote biblical justice, but then don't really emphasize personal salvation and the morality and holiness that comes with that. And you got churches that promote personal salvation, individual values, living right, but don't embrace biblical justice within society. As the K.I.N.G movement, we do both, not just because we're Black, but because that's what God taught in his word. And that's what Jesus taught. And so, yeah, I mean,
that's the other
what Donald does in his album too.
And Donald is phenomenal. And we actually partnered with K.I.N.G in that during the protests, the Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, murders, and we hit the community, hit the streets, definitely getting the word out. So I appreciate that, especially in a hip hop format, where Donald brings the truth regarding justice, regarding the word, and how there is no contradiction in being saved and still being for social justice. Amen. And so, so I'm definitely looking forward. So it sounds like a full, broad, impactful conference, that summit that you guys have set up.
Well, let me share with you some of the speakers. I obviously share Dr. Alan Waller, and obviously all the speakers will address manhood from different aspects, all right, different aspects of manhood that we need to address from a biblical standpoint. So Dr. Alan Waller will speak. Dr. Eric Mason, the pastor of Epiphany Fellowship down in Philadelphia, he's going to speak, and he's the author of many books, but one of them, Urban Apologetics, which is a tremendous book that addresses all of the Black identity groups that are out there contending with Christianity, the Nation of Islam, the Hebrew Israelites, Chemeticism, and so on and so forth, from a biblical perspective. And he's going to speak, and I will speak. And then you've got the Hall of Fame football player, Brian Dawkins, who played for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's going to speak. And then, of course, as I mentioned, Jason Avant. And then on top of that, and this is one of the things that separates the King Annual Summit from a lot of conferences, not all, but from a lot of conferences, is that we don't just send up speakers to give these great messages. And then you hear so many messages and you're like, man, my head kind of spinning, like, I'm trying to apply that one. Now I'm hearing another great one. But we also get up close and personal and have workshops.
Awesome.
Where you can, obviously we're giving information, but also it's open for questions and stuff. So we're going to have workshops on sexuality from a biblical perspective. It's called Honor God with Your Body.
Awesome.
Let's talk about sex, honor God with your body. We have a workshop on teaching men how to be the husbands and fathers that God created us to be. We're going to have a workshop on finances. And then we're going to have, like I said, how to share the gospel by the ambassador of the cross movement. And then we're going to have a giant workshop on urban apologetics that's led by Damon Richardson. Damon Richardson grew up in the Nation of Islam.
Wow.
And has, been saved since he was 16. And that brother, I talk about, Vince Bantu is the GOAT when it comes to early African Christianity.
Yeah.
Almost 2,000 years ago on the continent of Africa, long before the Atlantic slave trade. Damon Richardson is the GOAT debater in urban apologetics. He's had dudes in the community who are debaters and they promote their religions and their beliefs. He's had the best of them run away from him and not Jews not to debating. And so that brother's sharp. And so we're going to have him do a teaching on urban apologetics and address all these challenges to the faith that are out there. Because one thing Black men, and it's particularly younger Black men who are challenged, and may have questions because they're hearing all this stuff. There is no contradiction in you being your authentic Black self and being a man of God, being in Jesus Christ. No contradiction whatsoever. Amen. In fact, Christianity was in Africa before it was in Europe. We know the Black presence in the Bible is extensive. The African church in Ethiopia and Nubia and Egypt and even West Africa, were established way beyond, long before we were brought to America and enslaved and forced, kind of given a distorted view of Christianity. And so Chris, let me go back to the true biblical faith that our ancestors in Africa practiced, and that our African-American ancestors, such as Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Richard Allen, Marcus Garvey, great Black freedom fighters practiced.
Yes, sir. And that's dope, man. First, let me give a quick message to my brothers in the ICB. Men of the ICB, listen, this is going to be a phenomenal summit. I want you to join me there. I'm going to be there. We already got several of our guys registered and looking forward to coming. We want a caravan of ICB brothers traveling out there so we can hang out with our brother Chris and our brothers with King. And don't wait. They blessed us with access to the group rate. And we've shared that. Brothers, don't wait, because the hotel will fill up. And the conference is going to sell out. So please register today. Chris, let
And
me
they
just
can
mention.
register, Rod, just quick. You
Yeah,
can
go ahead,
register
sure.
at kingsummit.org. Kingsummit.org. As Rod said, register today, man. Y'all make it a road trip and have fun. Because as you know this, Rod, in addition to the spiritual empowerment and the educational empowerment, the fellowship, man, is awesome.
Yes,
like
sir.
That's the thing too, just to be around brothers who are like-minded, who are trying to live for the Lord. It's so empowering.
It really
those are the
is.
comments we get every year, man. It's awesome.
It really is, and hopefully, when the Giants win, and we can go there in humility. And if they lose, we got to register today, because we don't want you guys backing out because they lost. but it's going to be an amazing event. Now, let me ask you this question, Chris. Because I know that King, you really empower Black men in a deep way, myself included, our brothers included. Why would other people come? Why would a white man come to the conference? Why would people of other races and ethnicities come to the conference?
Right. Yeah, look, King, even though we obviously address issues that are particular to African Americans, we are for all men. And we have members who are white, members who are Hispanic, and other races. So on our board, we have a brother who's Asian. Like we are about the entire body of Christ, particularly the male part of the body of Christ. And one of our ultimate goals, Rod, is to unify, or do our part and help unify the body of Christ in America across racial, denominational,
yes, sir,
generational, and political lines. So we're about bringing
don't we need that? Don't we need that today? My goodness.
Especially now, we need it.
Yes, sir.
Because the world is converging on the church to, seemingly try to push us to the periphery of society. And so we do need to unite to stand strong. But I already have talked to brothers who are white who are coming. It is for all men. But the reason you would come is because overall it's going to be an empowering conference for men, period. The theme of the conference is let us make man. It's not let us make Black men, it's let us make man. So we encourage all the brothers. And also here, I'm gonna throw this out too. And you know why King and other groups focus on issues addressing African American men?
Absolutely.
Because in mainstream society, those issues aren't always addressed. And for instance, if you didn't have HBCUs, imagine how many Black administrators, professors, coaches, and deans, etc., you would not have.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
in a country that's been historically racist. We need these organizations for ourselves, but they're always open, just like HBCUs are open to all people. The King movement and the King Conference, King Summit, is open to all men, and we encourage all our Hispanic brothers, Asian brothers, white brothers, Native American brothers, whatever it may be. You are welcome. We'll embrace you with love and treat you just like we treat everybody else.
That is phenomenal. This is a year for us at Christian Cultural Center of renewal. That is our theme: renewal and revival, and it's a reawakening of passion towards purpose. And if we can do that as a community, as a society, it would be amazing. And definitely we need revival in terms of race relations, and we need renewal in terms of our connectivity with each other, just as men in general. And I think this King Summit is definitely going to do that for us, man. So I appreciate you, brother. I'm not going to keep you. I just want to give you a shout out from our director, Dr. Norio Chaparro.
That's my man. Tell him I said hello.
No doubt, no doubt. Our founder, Pastor Era Bernard, Pastor Jamal Bernard, and all of the men of the International Christian Brotherhood, we salute you, and we salute King. Amen. You guys are definitely strong in the Lord, bro.
Well, thank you, brother. And we love all you brothers in ICB. We hope to see you in Philadelphia, March 9th through the 12th, to have fun and fellowship at Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church, the 8th annual King National Summit. Let us make man. Register today, kingsummit.org. All right, Rod.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Strong in the Lord.
Yes, sir. And while the world searches for better methods, God is looking for better men. God bless, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. I stand upon the past, in the present, the future. I can't see the past, I can't edit. Something tells me I've been where I'm headed. Is this deja vu? Is the promised land predestined? I don't know, but I know I need directions. I'm beyond the point of my family's discretions. Where's all the guys to deal with the oppression? Not just manage, I mean kill the oppression. I'm a son of the civil rights progression, but when I talk justice, white leaders feel threatened. Something's lost in the translation settings, and baby boomers in passed down the king's weapons. I'm in uncharted lands, new imagery. The burden's old, it's the same new energy. We marched for Floyd and felt a new symmetry. Timelines of mystery, this is new history.
You can trace back everything we're into. It's like time's filling in a stencil. A different coat of paint, same ninja. I think a dead man's knocking at my window. They say there's nothing new under the sun.